Hey everybody, wake up, wake up. It is Saturday the 26th. Thank you for tuning in to Defining Deborah. I'm going to do a car chat on my way to work today. So, here we go. We're getting ready to get it moving. This morning, first let me say, you guys know that I am just starting this and I'm horrible at being consistent with uploading videos. Life is life. We're all living it. And this is not my full-time gig. I just started doing it kind of out of boredom during the pandemic. And I found that there was a niche for women my age and older. But I do have to say, I think I found my people. I've always been very inquisitive, intellectually. I would have thoughts and conversations in my head that nobody else wanted to listen to, or I guess it was my peer group had no concern in some of the philosophical things that I guess I was thinking. But I happened to run into two other vloggers because of this Derek Jackson mess going on. And I think that I'm going to be looking at some of their content and see if, they're really who I perceive them to be. One of them is I want to say Tanya TKO. And then there's a guy out of England named Sideman. He is very interesting. She actually had him on her show. That's how I found out about him. Now, you guys know I'm normally talking about mess that's happening in my life that might, attribute to someone else's, just the plight of the woman over 50. But this whole thing with Mr. Jackson has been quite intriguing for me, coming from a therapeutic way. I'm a counselor. It brought out so many biases that I couldn't keep up. I actually took notes, people. I did. And the thing is, I didn't know who the heck he was. I'm trying to figure out I don't know what vlogger that I might occasionally look at who might have said something about him. And then that's how this whole story came to me, because before last week, or whenever the first stories start coming out, I had no clue of who he is. Never heard of him. I am not a person that looks to get my advice about relationships or on men, or really supposedly about myself as a woman, from other people. I've always found it interesting that men have chosen to write books about us, and they've never walked in the shoes of a woman one day of their life. I even said this when T.D. Jakes came out with a book. How are you writing a book about us? And don't tell me about being inspired, because my thing is this: God is not confused or crazy. So he could have just as well inspired a woman to write a book to other women. Because no matter what, T.D. Jakes will never know what it's like to be a woman. He can speculate. That would be like me trying to write a book on men. I could speculate, I could talk to 1,000 men, but I still would not have any idea what it feels like to live in the body of a man and walk it out daily. I wouldn't. So, anywho, I never listened to those type of people. So this Derek guy, never heard of him. And then, to be honest, there's a bit of an arrogance about him that I probably would not have listened to him anyway. And even till this day, I have never listened to any of his other stuff he has to say. I did go, somebody reposted the one where he was apologizing. I actually fell asleep on it. So, but what I want to discuss is, I am really amazed but not shocked at the behavior of people in how they are judging the wife, Danae, I think that's her name, Danae, or Mrs. Jackson. And she was not even the one who was out there having the affairs. It's always so amazing to me in the United States and our society as a whole that the man can be mucking up and messing around and doing all kinds of crap, and yet somehow it still get turned around on the woman. She's not beautiful enough. She's not articulate enough. They never thought that he would be with that type of woman. You don't even know what type of woman she is, really. The day that she came out and did that interview with her husband, that woman has a lot going on. And let me, for you people that want to say something who happen to see my video, I can say that because I lived and was married to a serial cheater. So I fully understand and can empathize with how she feels, what's going on with her thinking processes, a lot. I'm not saying totally, but a lot, because we are two different women. And so whether she wore what she wore or had she wore something else, people still would have criticized her, because in their mind's eye, she never would have fit the bill of what they considered or who they would have considered him being with. Contingent upon if you look at the women that he messed around with. So if you look at the type of women he messed around with, no, she ain't nothing like them. But maybe that's why he married her. But that's a whole nother subject. This thing, you could do 50 videos or more on this whole just ordeal that's going on. And it not really be about them, but it is about them. So I was really taken back by how people really just was, oh my gosh, they were just truly rude and ugly to this woman. And my thing is this: nobody can make her stay or go. That is totally up to her. None of us was there when she got married to him. None of us was there the 10 years that she was waiting, or 8 years it was, that she was waiting on him for him to ask her to marry him. So why do we think we have an input on what she should do now? Crazy. Just crazy. And the thing is now, had that been like Beyonce and Jay-Z, if she came out with a bonnet and for black sweatshirt or whatever and no bra, that'd have been the newest thing hopping. You see women running around with a bonnet on. Well, they do that anyway. So that's why I don't know why they criticize. And I see people in the store everywhere with the bonnets on, but she can't wear her bonnet in her own house. Crazy. And why does she need to dress up for us? Because if you look at her Instagram page, she has plenty of pictures of her dressed up, and she's a beautiful woman. But she does not strike me as the type that sits around in makeup and stilettos all day when she has children, or just the fact that that's just not the type of woman she is. I can fully understand. I was not that type of woman. You make yourself presentable when you're going outside a little bit more, but I was not the one that was going to get up every day and pile makeup on my face and all that. To do what? To impress who? If you're secure in who you are, none of that even matters. None of it. So I am just ashamed, especially the women. Especially the women. This society puts too much emphasis on how women look. Not so much on the man. So if you find a man that dressed like Derek Jackson or this other guy, Samuel somebody, I think I can't remember his name, which I'm just like, yuck. But if you find a man like that, oh my gosh, women are falling all over them, have no clue of what type of character they have. They're going by the outer package. Whereas there could be a guy that's picking up trash who is a wonderful man, but you ain't paying him not one bit of attention because he picks up trash. I mean, it is just so crazy. We are so materialistic. Oh my gosh. And the thing is, and I'm going to jump on this bandwagon with everybody else that have said this, he milked the women. Milked them. People sending in, I went to his Facebook page. He call them lust cards. Lust cards, but you're supposed to be a Christian, and you got a whole deck of cards that are called lust cards. And I'm sure it has something to do with sex or whatever. I don't know. I didn't even check it out. But, and then even in that, let me say this, it was such a con, because in one picture, he was like, last 500, you better get them, last 500. I think that was in October or something like that. Then he turned around for Valentine's Day and was like, oh, I happened to find a couple of cases of these cards, last 250. Nah, dude, you had 750 cases. You was just trying to get rid of them. The one thing I give him credit for is the ability to manipulate women. He gets an A+++ in that area, because he got manipulation down to an art. That's what he should write a book about. Because not only has he manipulated the one woman that has been with him for 14 years and he married, but all the women he messed with and the thousands of women that are on his YouTube page, Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, whatever else he may be on, all the thousands that bought, I think they say he wrote 12 books? 12. All the women who bought the 12 books, bought the cars, and bought whatever else he might be selling. Yeah, he's a manipulator. An A+++ manipulator. And I know that for a fact, because I lived with one and he was probably an A+. But this one got him beat. Got him beat. So I understand how Danae feels. And she doesn't even have to justify any of that to us, because that's her marriage. The only reason why she has to come out now is because her husband mucked up. And he needs her. He needs her to help clear up his image, because you know what? Now, if women did what they really should do, which is pull their monies back and not listen to his rhetoric, then he would be in a world of trouble, and so would his family. But I'm sorry, I can't support Danae and the kids through him and his bunch of crock. Because I'm going to tell you this, and I would bet the rest of the money that I make till I die that Derek Jackson will commit adultery again if he's still married. And if he's not married, he will be sleeping with multiple women and not committed to any of them. It's sort of like that fable about the, what is it? The spider and the, I think it's a spider and a turtle. The spider wanted, couldn't cross the pond or the river or something. And he asked the turtle, and the turtle was like, no, I think it was a spider. I might be saying it wrong, but it goes well with this. He's like, no, because you're going to bite me, and, you know, but your venom will end up killing me. And the spider was like, no, I won't, because I need you to be able to get across. So why would I bite you? If I bite you and you die, then I'm going to die too. So the turtle thought about it and was like, yeah, that's right. Lets them climb on. They get midway of the pond. What happens? Spider bit him. Turtle dies, and so does the spider. And you say, what is the fable to that? It's his nature. The spider couldn't help himself. Even though he said, I would not bite you because then we would both die, he couldn't help himself because it's nature. That is Daryl Jackson. I don't know why I want to say Daryl. Derek Jackson's nature. Because he has helped to cultivate that. And see, that is something that's within him. And let me tell y'all this. What I have found with serial cheaters is that usually there's a lot of insecurity. And when I was listening to that guy, Side Man, that I was telling you about out of England, he said something that just really said, ding, ding, ding. What I was thinking was totally correct. Because he said that he had to look at himself and say, why was he sleeping with so many women? And what he realized was that he slept with so many women because of the fact that when he was growing up, he didn't look the way he looked now as a man, and he couldn't get girls. He couldn't get women. So now he's trying to impress the young boy that couldn't get women, or the young boy that couldn't get girls, with the man who can now pull them. And he was like, that's so ridiculous. He's like, that is really ridiculous. He was like, I don't have to try to impress that boy. I don't have to continually compete with the person that I used to be. I'm a full-grown man now. And in saying that, I say that this Derek guy, if you go back and look, he don't really have him on his page. I think he has one. But on the wife's Instagram, you can see that she had pictures of them, because they've been knowing each other since they were in high school and stuff. But you can see pictures of him when he was younger. And I think it was Funky Dineva said they matched. Might not have been him. Might have been somebody else. But somebody was saying they matched. They were the perfect couple back in the day when they were younger. Because he was a bit overweight, he hadn't worked out, and all this stuff like that. But because he was unhappy with who he was, he made it his life goal was to change his body and, be able to look a different way. But the thing was, once he started looking that way and found that the women were coming plentiful, he forgot about the young lady that had been with him when he didn't look like that, and his self-esteem was in the toilet. And I have to wonder, why did he marry her? I would say it's simply because the same thing I just said. Because she had always been there, and he figures she always will. Which brings me to a whole nother point. Danae. When I read her stuff, I had so much empathy for her, because I'm going to tell you, there are some things going on with her that she needs a counselor. Now, I know God can heal you. Definitely he can. But the thing is, if you don't have the faith for that, you still need to see somebody. And I believe that God made counselors, doctors, people like that to help assist us to get to where we need to go. This young lady has had a lot of trauma in her life. If you look, she has a major daddy issue with men. Because her father, to her, in her mind, and I don't know whether it was true or not, she felt that he loved her brothers more because he was involved in more things with them, to the point that she wanted his attention so much that she wanted to be a boy versus a girl. So she used to emulate her brothers to try to get the attention of her father. That's when she started all that stuff about copying and trying to be other people. Then she meets, Derek. And now I would probably say, from the way she seemed, she probably didn't have a whole lot of boyfriends. He might have been her first boyfriend. I don't know. But she fell head over heels in love with him, to the point of obsession. If you look at her Instagram, she says something to the effect that when she was showing her ring, and I don't know if people had said to her, why you took so many pictures of the ring, she was like, I waited 8 years. Yes, I'm going to show this ring. This girl stayed there in some form of a relationship with him as he slept with women after woman after woman and all this stuff, even though it was killing the little bit of self-esteem she had, making her feel bad about herself, feelings of hurt and anger, to add on top of now the feelings with her dad. And yet she stayed. And then he finally went and asked her to marry him because she got pregnant the year before they got married. And then she was pregnant when they got married. And let me add this caveat in there. She also speaks about the fact that she had been raped somewhere, I guess from teenhood to adulthood or somewhere in there. I don't know if it was in college, date rape or something, but she had been raped. So now you got the trauma of not feeling like I was loved by my father, my brothers were more important, I didn't get the attention that I need. Then you add rape on top of there. Then dealing with a serial cheater. This young lady's mind is spinning, her emotions, all of that. She really does need a counselor to talk to for her to sort out her feelings on all those different topics. Because I believe if she had not been so damaged, she would not have put up with the crap she put up with Derek. Because she would have known her worth. And she does have worth. And because of, the thing that makes me mad is that he knew she was damaged. He had been around long enough with her to know that she had issues with her father, that she had gotten raped, and he knew what he was doing to her. He knew that she was damaged material, and yet he still cultivated this whatever relationship you want to call it with them, because she even posted that on the day that she got married, she was filled with anger and hurt and all these different feelings that one would not have on the day that they're marrying the man that they love. I think they both have a lot of insecurities, and they have the little children in them who have not developed into grown men, a grown woman that's running their life and relationship. And both of them need to go and sit down and talk to somebody. Because what will happen is this dysfunction that they have is going to trickle down. I think they have 2 daughters, or a daughter and a son, whatever, to their children. And then somebody like me will have them in front of them trying to sort out all this craziness that they need to deal with head on right now. Head on. Because I tell you what, they are interesting. Very, very interesting to me. Like I said, there's so many different angles and avenues that I'm just going to say that this is part 1, because this made me think about a lot of different things. So I'm going to close this out, because I don't like to make a real long vlog. And I'm at Sonic's, and I'm going to pick me up a quick little breakfast. Yeah, well, you can get breakfast all day. And then carry myself on to the job, because I may get lunch and I may not. It just depends on what's going on when I get there. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm always excited to talk to you. Tell somebody about the page. Click subscribe. Put on notifications. I think I know how to do that. I'm still learning this stuff. Y'all know I'm kind of slack with some of all this. But yeah, and we'll just continue discussing this, and the viewpoints are the points that I feel like this whole situation has brought up. Things that we as men and women need to discuss. All right, guys, have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy yourself. Get some fresh air. Get out. Exercise. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.